Hey, Tony Gaskins here, popping in, a little car chronicle. Now, I was about to shoot in my office, but I've been in my office on Zoom for probably 4.5 hours. I was on Zoom, and so I said, let me get in the car. It's starting to drizzle, so if it starts to actually like rain, I'll just pull over and talk to you. But I wanted to talk to you because I did a video, if you missed it, called How to Date Correctly. I done did a few of them, but I just kind of do them over and update them. You know, some of them probably say the same exact thing. I don't know because I don't watch them back. But the last one I was talking about, there was a couple things in there, and I went to read some of the comments just to see what the next question was, and that's how I, you know, give y'all the next video sometime and see what the questions were. And one lady had to get blocked because she took too literal when I said the Bible is not a dating book, like a relationship book or a marriage book. The lady just come on there wanting to argue. And it's like, yes, I know the Bible talk about marriage and the Bible talk about relationships, but what I'm saying, the book itself is not a dating book. It's a book of life. And a part of life is relationships. But Jesus dying on the cross is not about marriage in an intimate romantic love. It's about love. It's about salvation, and that's what the book is leading us to. The Bible ain't leading us to, the Bible is not written for everybody who read it to get married. It's better to marry than to burn, is what the Bible say. But what Apostle Paul says, it's better for you to be single and do the work of the Lord, unless you can't be. Then you need to get married, because it's better to marry than to burn. This person riding with his door open. I guess he doing that on purpose. Or do he not know the door open? What the world you got going on, buddy? Now, see, that's the downside of Car Chronicles. I get distracted by what's happening on the road sometimes, so y'all forgive me for the new people. But, so she had to get blocked, or he or whoever was write this long old message talking about that I'm finna go down to the devil house and I'm gonna die and pay the price of my blood and they blood for leading people astray. And it's like, man, will you shut up? Come on here watching one video and then got a mouthful, blah, blah. And I share that with y'all. I remember one time this lady, she wrote me, she like, Tony, you paying the negative people too much attention. You know, just make the video. I had to block her. Man, don't tell me what to do, man, on my videos. I'm gonna address what need to be addressed. What's on my heart, what's on my spirit. I'm not no robot. I'm a human. So if something bothers me, I'm gonna share what's bothering me. So understand that. That's a part of being authentic, and that's the only way you can survive. This is a lesson to every creator on here. If you come on here and you just faking and you just focus on just pumping content, and you're not infusing your own personality, your own life, your own thoughts, feelings, beliefs in there from time to time, you're gonna burn out. Because at that point, this is a job and you a slave. And well, slavery worse than a job. Come on now, watch the side of the road now. Come on now. Y'all can forgive me. But I want to pop on here and talk to you about desperate dating. And desperate dating. Do not be a desperate dater. Now, I was going to make this about online dating, but that just felt a little too contrived. So I want to talk to you about being a desperate dater. So one of the signs of being a desperate dater is getting on your back. If you sleeping with people and you're not married, you're a desperate dater. Now, if you sleeping with somebody and y'all not even in a relationship, which I don't condone sex before marriage, but I know you grown and people gonna do what they want to do, so I understand the realities of the world. But those are those who are too heavenly minded that they know earthly good, what the saying say, meaning that you're too righteous with your nose in the air, that you can't relate and help people who living contrary to God because you think you perfect and you acting like you're perfect and not speaking and meeting people where they are. So I could say I don't believe in sex before marriage, but I made that mistake, and I know God and love God, so I know if I can make that mistake, anybody capable of making that mistake. Not everybody will though. And so I say that to say, if you sleeping with somebody and you're not married to them, and especially if you're not in a relationship with them, like a committed, monogamous relationship with them, you could be committed and monogamous and still be in sin. Some people don't call it sin or believe it's sin, but you could be in sin. And that is sex outside of marriage. That's my belief. That's not everybody's belief. But if you're not even in a relationship with somebody and you sleeping with them, which I see this far too often, people say, we're not an item, we're not a couple, but we are sleeping together, but I don't know what we are. When I see that, that right there represents desperate dating. That's one of the signs. And the reason why you have to think about this, and I want y'all to understand, listen, this is not just a pole that a man have between his legs. Because see, a pole can't produce no baby. That dildo, that ain't just the same as a dildo. See, when you get that dildo, and listen y'all, it is called a DILDO, okay? But I'm saying it differently for the system. When you get that dildo can't give you a STD. That dildo cannot get you pregnant. So when you get down with you a man, you can catch a STD and you could get pregnant. That's why you cannot see sex as casual, because there are repercussions from sex. It's eventually going to be a pregnancy or a disease, one or the other, or both. You can get both now. You can get both. You're also going to be emotionally connected to that person eventually, to where you feel them even when they're not in you. You feel them. That you're thinking about them, you fantasizing about them, and all of that, even when they're not with you and they're not around you. You got to understand that. It is not casual. Sex is not casual. There's nothing casual about sex. There are repercussions. There are prices to be paid. It's going to cost you something. I want you to understand that. Now, on the other hand, the same thing the other way around. When a man is with a woman, repercussions. It's going to be an emotional connection that's formed. As a man, you could catch an STD. You also could get that woman pregnant. You also could be with a woman and she get pregnant by another man on a one-nighter. That man gone about his business, and you think you the only one. You too nice, or you, because y'all together all the time, you don't even fathom that it could be another man baby. So you don't do no paternity test. That ain't your wife, and now you taking care of somebody else's child. That also has happened a million of times now. Many times, probably not a million, but many times a woman have had a man taking care of a child that's not his, because she saw the act as casual and was doing it with multiple people and end up conceiving, and one of the men was blinded and did not know he was one of many, and he now got on the hook to take care of that child. I've seen it happen. And sometimes the man finds out later, but it's too late. He already fell in love with the child. He see the child as his own, and And I respect them for being that man. So I want you to understand, when you sleeping with somebody that you are dating, you're a desperate dater. Somebody you not married to, you're a desperate dater. I'm gonna tell you another form of desperate dating. And this is coming, and men and women do this now. When you are giving marriage benefits to someone that you are not married to, you are a desperate dater. And what I mean by this is, a man paying a woman bills, that's marriage. That is a marriage benefit. A lot of women don't like that, don't believe that, but that's a marriage benefit. You're not supposed to be paying the bills of a woman that you're not married to. Because when you're dating, you both supposed to be independent, and vice versa. Vice versa. A woman paying a man bills, that's desperate dating. You paying bills, that you taking money out your livelihood, you taking money out your lifestyle, you taking money out your savings, out your pocket to take care of a grown, musky adult. You are not supposed to be taking care of another adult that you are not married to. And if they want to be taken care of so bad, then y'all need to get married. And that's happening too, and that ain't right. And so you got to use discretion. Because a lot of people getting married because they need help. They need help. They want them a roommate. They need help with that mortgage or that rent. So they gonna tie that knot. When you're doing that and you ain't married now, that's desperate dating. I'm gonna go on over here and park. This is a little drizzle, but I don't like driving in no drizzle. I wanted to get out of my office and shoot my old car chronicle. So now listen to me now. So on the other side of this, okay, when a man paying these bills, because I see a lot of women listening to the city girls go to talk about, oh, this thing speak Jamaican, French, Italian, and you ain't paying no money, you ain't getting none of this. That desperate dating. When you living together and you're not married, that's desperate dating. You prolonging the marriage. You pushing the marriage back. When you living together, you pushing the marriage back. Because never ever is a relationship perfect. The only time a relationship perfect is one person is being emotionally intelligent. That's the only time. One person or both people being emotionally intelligent, but rarely are two people being emotionally intelligent at the same time. It's typically one person being immature and one person being mature, and that's when a relationship is deemed perfect. But it's actually not perfect, because the person that's being mature but having to deal with somebody else's immaturity, they getting the short end of the stick. So it's not perfect for them. So when it's perfect, it's two people being emotionally intelligent. So when I say one person, I mean that's what will keep a relationship going, but it ain't happen for both people. So understand that. It's today, you know, me and my wife ain't got no attitude. Yesterday, it was 15, 20 minutes, my wife had an attitude. The day before, it probably was an hour, I had an attitude. The day before, so it's like relationships alternate. It's spiritual warfare. One day the man being attacked spiritually, the next day the woman being attacked spiritually. So therefore, when you move in together, before marriage, you prolong the marriage. You push the marriage back because you're going through spiritual warfare while you living together. So you thinking, oh, we're not meant to be. If we're going through this, we ain't meant to be. It's supposed to be peaches and cream. Everything supposed to be all gravy. If we going through this, we ain't meant to be. No, you could very well be meant to be and going through just natural, normal human stuff. But because you're not married, you thinking that this is a sign that you're not meant to be. And what you're going through is it's not abuse, it's not infidelity, it's just immaturity. And it's hurting you. So that's why that living together is desperate dating. Now I'm gonna tell y'all another form of desperate dating. And this one of the biggest ones now. This one of the biggest ones. This what I feel is the biggest form of desperate dating. Outside of sleeping together now, that's the worst one. But that's not the biggest one. But that's the worst one. It could be about the biggest too. Women giving a man husband benefits. Do you know there is a trend online, a video trend that say day 28 or day whatever of making dinner for my boyfriend or making lunch for my boyfriend? I think I saw one of making the lunch or dinner for the girlfriend too, but I know I seen it of making it for the boyfriend. I say, what in the world? I say, what in the world are these people doing? Come on now. Y'all got to be kidding me. You cooking for a boyfriend on consecutive days? Now, if you cooking for your boyfriend or girlfriend, it need to be at the absolute most once a week, but you really want to be at twice a month at the most, because that also prolong the marriage. Because they say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. But most men, that's true. I struggle letting a woman cook for me, because if a woman cook for me, I love her. I never love her. And it don't matter who she is. She could be 85 years old. And it might not be a romantic love now. It's not a romantic love. But I still form a little bit of love. If I go to a restaurant and the cook is a woman, I form a little bit of love. If a man could cook now, that's a brotherly love now. Don't get that confused now. Don't get that confused. But it's something about that cooking that do something to a lot of men. Now, guess what? Now, a chef, her cooking ain't gonna do nothing for no man, because that's what she do. He don't even process it the same. It's like you a cook. It's like a basketball playing basketball. It's like if you go to the fair, to the festival, to the fair, and your man or woman is a basketball player and they make the shot and win you a bear, it don't mean the same as somebody who don't play professional basketball making that shot. It's like they make the shot, like, okay, all right, another day in the park, you expect it. Same thing when it's a chef, a man or a woman, you're a chef in a relationship, your cooking might not be appreciated the same way as somebody cooking who don't necessarily know how to cook, and they gotta learn how to cook. And they gotta learn what to do. Y'all forgive me the big old van, like the Sprinter van, like what I got pulled up beside me. I thought he was getting a little close there. So it's a little different. So I say that to say that's one of the biggest forms of desperate dating. When I see women doing laundry, cooking for a man, cleaning for a man, they living together. When I see all of that right there, I say, yeah, something going on. Yeah, something going on. This right here, because what it does is it make the man then take the woman for granted. Now it's a lot of men and women that they say, oh, well, if you don't cook and you don't clean, how am I gonna know that you wife material? Cooking and cleaning does not define a woman. Being a wife is more about love and support, encouragement, teamwork, not just cooking and cleaning. A maid could cook and clean. A do-girl could cook and clean. Anybody could cook and clean. But not anybody could be a backbone, a support system, a confidant. That's why being a wife is so much more than housework. And that's what men have to understand. Men got to realize that a woman is not a maid, that a woman is not a do-girl. You have to utilize her gifts, and her gifting is far beyond housework, that domesticated stuff. Her gift of speaking life into you, her gift of discernment, her gift of listening, her gift of encouragement, her gift of support, her gift of balance, her gift of organizing your life, hearing your thoughts, being a confidant, being a best friend. Those giftings is what you got to focus on, not how good she could cook, because a lot of women who cook cheat. I just say that to say that. It's a lot of women who cook and they also cheat. Now, it's a lot of women who cook and don't cheat. But what I'm saying is, one thing or two things or three things don't define somebody's character. There's women who might cook every day, but they don't want to listen to you talk about your dreams. They don't want to hear nothing about your dreams. Go work your job, make that money, and pay these bills. I want to hear about what you dreaming to become one day when you grow up. I don't want to hear nothing about that. There's a lot of women may take that approach. Don't care about your dreams. They care about, is this mortgage paid? Is this rent paid? How you gonna pay this light, this water, this car note, this insurance? And worry about you wanting to become a rapper, or you want to become an author, or you want to be a speaker, or whatever you want to be. Go work that job and make that money in the here and now. It's women that'll take that approach. And so what you got to realize is the same thing on the other way around. A lot of this vice versa. And so when a man taking and paying a woman bills, if a man say, hey, how do I know you're a wife if you don't cook and clean? That woman could say, hey, how do I know you a husband if you ain't paying my rent? It could go both ways. Now, both of y'all start doing that stuff, but you still ain't really worked on the love and fell in love. Now you just stagnant. But now you've created a uncomfortable convenience, meaning that you're uncomfortable because you're not married and you're not being intentional about marriage, but you're convenient because the man paying bills and the woman cooking and cleaning. So both of y'all serving each other, you meeting a need, but you prolonging marriage. You pushing marriage back because you meeting the need without first making a full commitment until death does you part. And so that's the problem with the desperate dating. And with the desperate dating, people be so ready to be in a relationship that you'll do anything to be in a relationship. So you get to the situation and you like, hey, you know, what can I do for you? And there's so many women who are sucking and ducking and clucking and trucking, and the man ain't did nothing but breathe. That man ain't did nothing but breathe. That man pick you up on time for a date, and now you've got bust your leg wide open because he was on time for a date. That man ain't barely did nothing. And vice versa. And see, this is the thing. A lot of times women look at a man who will help pay her rent or her mortgage while they dating as a provider. But you know what type of man really do that? A player. A good, honest, trustworthy man of integrity do not want to pay your bills until you his wife. Think about it now. A lot of y'all don't want to hear that. A lot of y'all don't want to hear that because you done been brainwashed to think that a man paying your bills defines him as a man. If that's how you feel, then he could say you being on your back defines you as a woman. And you can't say, oh no, that's apples to oranges. No, because if that's what mean the most to him, if you being on your back as a woman mean the equivalent of him paying bills, then that's his right and his prerogative. You can't get to say, no, me being on my back is equivalent to you giving me oral. Because he might be like, no, He may say, no, me giving you oral is equivalent to me eating pig slop or chitlins or me throwing up in my mouth. He might see that like that. He might not like that. He might not think that's a good thing. So we don't get to choose what somebody else equivalent is. Because a lot of times when a man paying bills, what he want in return for them bills, that there. That's what he want in return for them bills. And who do we see the most paying a woman bills? Dope boys, scammers, other types of criminals, and players. You rarely see that computer engineer, that blue collar man, that man of integrity paying a woman bills that's not his wife. You do not see that as often. You'll see it sometime now. He being a nice guy, that's what he's been told is manhood, and so he doing it because he's trying to show that woman that he's intentional. And I'm talking about this man being faithful too. But that's rare. A man who paying a woman bills that he's not married to and being faithful to her, that's a unicorn. Hate to break it to you. That's why in dating we need to be independent. Both parties, we need to do our own laundry. We need to cook our own food. We need to be abstinent, and we need to pay our own bills. And then we need to date intentionally. Then when you date intentionally and you find somebody and you hit it off, you become an item, you become a couple, then you get married, then you meet in the middle and you take care of each other. The man using his gifts and his strengths, the woman using her gifts and her strengths. The man using his advantages, the woman using her advantages. You meet in the middle, you take care of each other. Point blank period. Point blank period. That's what it need to be, ladies and gentlemen. But see, a lot of times we don't want to hear that. A lot of times we don't want to hear that. And that's what hurt us right there. That is what hurts us. So listen, I want you to think about this thing. I want you to hear me on this here. Get this right here in your spirit. Really understand this. And really process and ask yourself, am I a desperate dater? Oh, I ain't get to the last part of desperate dating. I went so deep on them and them examples. You know the other part of desperate dating? It's online dating. If you get online, you desperate dating. I don't care what you call it. You could say that you completely coherent. You could say that you completely happy and content being single. You could say you love yourself. You could say you cherish yourself. You could say all that you want to say. If you get online to date, that's desperate dating. Even if somebody told you to do it. I done heard from 2 different people who said they life coach told them to get online dating. And you know now, both of the people I done heard say that are in California. That's a sign right there. The barometer out there in California be a little off. Listen, the reason why I'm telling you not to online date is because I'm a man. And I know that as a man, for 99% of online dating, for men, it's not a healthy or a good thing. The reason why I say that is because it's so many women in the world that a man should not have to get online to date. It's too many women. It is too many women. I'm a married man and I can see that it's too many women. Imagine being a single man. You ought to be able to see it's too many women. And if the women in person, y'all gotta forgive them time. I've been working 4.5 hours on that Zoom. If the women in person ain't no good to you, the women online ain't gonna be no different. You gonna think the same thing about them because it's the same type of women. And see, that's the thing what people don't understand. This is what people don't understand. Men and women are not the same. So women could get online. It's a lot of women that I know that's online dating, and they classy, respectable, responsible women. Out of men, the men that I know online dating, 1% of them gonna be classy, respectable, and responsible men. What a man get online dating to do 99% of the time. Now, if you in the 1%, I ain't talking about you. Scratch your booty, get glad. Don't get mad, scratch your booty, get glad. 99% of the men who gonna get online is getting on there for the wrong reason. He's either insecure, impatient, nasty, greedy, looking for something easy, and he just want to play games. 1% of the men or less gonna be on there with pure intentions, meaning he healthy, handsome, taking care of himself, loving himself, doing right, in the right position, job, independent, God-fearing, upstanding. 1% or less on there. And the reason being is because it does not make logical sense for a man to be online dating. It don't make sense. But what it is for a man to get online and date, it is a smorgasbord. Meaning it is a buffet. It's a potluck dinner. That's what that is. Because it make it so much easier for a man. So now this man, when you online, let me tell you, to approach a woman, it take a lot. It take a lot of confidence. It take a lot of strength. It take a lot putting together, because you got to have on the right outfit. Your face got to be clean. Your hair got to be right. Your breath got to be right. Your nails got to be right. Your skin got to be took care of. Because when you walk up on this woman, ain't no hiding. So it take a lot to walk up on that woman. How can we compare a man walking up to a woman to a man sitting behind a keyboard and typing a message? Typing that message, you can't see that man decayed teeth from that message. You can't see how tall he is. You can't see how he dressed. You can't see how he carries himself. You can't see his hair, his face. You see the picture he got on there, but you don't know how old that picture is. You don't know if that picture real. You don't know if it's even a man. You getting set up a whole lot of ways on that line. When you get on that line, I'm trying to tell you, getting set up. So this man literally could be anything. This man could take a picture with the phone sitting down there on the ground. You could think you finna meet up with a 6'4" man, and that man 4'6". You thought it was 6'4" online. That man 4'6". Now you done spent your $200, $200, get your hair done, got your makeup done, and got your new outfit, got your nails done, and you get there. You get there and you looking up in the man. Next thing you know, you looking around for the man down there. Oh, he was 6'4", sitting on that bar stool online. But see, had you just waited and been out there in the real world, when that man walk up to you, you see he 4'6". Now you get to make a decision. Do I want me a 4'6" man? Or do I want to wait on the 6'4"? You get a choice. So listen, if you online dating, you desperate dating, I hate to tell you. You setting yourself up for failure. You setting yourself up for failure. Yeah, oh yeah, your one friend got online and got married. Listen, I'm gonna tell you what that online is also gonna be used by. A transvestite. A transvestite gonna use that online because it's a little easier. A gay man who need a cover-up is gonna use online. It's easier. A man who done did they transition, they done did the whole transition from woman to man, he's gonna use that online. It's a little easier. He a little shy, a little introverted, so just make it a little easier. A serial killer, a psycho, an abusive man, all of those men is gonna use online dating. They're gonna use online dating. So the chances of a woman meeting a man online who is upstanding and right is slim to none. So your one friend, and this is the thing, I see it all the time as a man, because I can read men. And as a relationship coach, I see it all the time. Oh, my friend met her husband online and he is all man. So you thought. Let a man tell you. That man ain't all man. Just because he got muscles don't mean he all man. That man like him a piece of man. You hear me? See it all on him. That man there got a whole nother family in his country. That man there juggling women. That man there got multiple women. That man, your friend husband is the titular swindler. You ain't even know it. Your friend husband that she met online is the titular swindler. That man was a hair from filing bankruptcy and decided he finna do a last ditch effort and met your friend who had a loaded savings, a great job, a 401k. That man Google 800 credit score, found it on the 10th page of Google, downloaded that picture, printed, screenshot that picture, sent it to her, and say, I'm working on my credit. I'm at 800 right now. I want to get to 850. That man credit 500. Your friend didn't have a clue that man credit was shot. And that man was getting ready to file bankruptcy. She didn't have a clue. Your friend didn't even process that man had already got that deportation letter that let him know, we done revoke your DACA. We finna put the wall up on you, and we coming to get you. She did not know he got that letter that let him know, listen here, playboy, you got less than 12 months to get your documents in order. That's who your friend married off Tinder, off Match, off eHarmony. But you will stand on the outside and you'll look in and you don't know the inner workings of this man. But 9 out of 10 times when a woman showed me her husband online, I was telling all my clients, do not do online dating unless it is expressly approved. And people get mad at me. Women will get mad at me. Well, Tony, why you approve it for women over 50? Because that is when it is desperate measures. And I hate to say that because I don't want you to feel desperate. But when a woman hit 46, that's when you start to take chances. That's when, because a lot of times once a woman hit 40, women start doing one night stands because they clock is ticking and they getting tired of being alone. They start to see now they closer to the grave than the birth canal. They start to feel closer to the grave than the birth canal. Typically at 50, you closer to the grave than the birth canal. Forgive me for being real with you. I know you want to block me. I know you want to unsubscribe, but listen, ain't nobody else gonna get to you real and raw like I'm giving it to you. So that's why I approve it, because your measures have changed. Your timeline is different. If you're gonna live to 80, you got 30 years left. You done already live 50. If you're gonna live to 85, you got 35 left. You done already live longer than you got left to live. If you don't, we don't know how long you're gonna live. 90 is a long time. My grandma died at 82 years old. My granddaddy probably was 88. My wife, granddaddy, he turned 90. He died right before his 91st birthday. Listen, if you live 90, that is a long time, especially in this day and time when we eating these steroid-filled chicken, the steroid-filled beef, the pesticide vegetables. They talking about, oh, this organic. If you ain't grow it yourself, you don't know what's organic. You eating all kind of, you talking about you vegan, you tearing them pesticides. Look, what is good? You eat all kind of pesticides. You don't know what you eating. If you did not grow it, you cannot trust this here country. You can't trust the country because it's about money. It is about money. So listen to me. That's why I say at 50, you could take a few more chances than you could take at 30 and 35 and even 40. Because now you getting closer to glory. So now, also a reason why you could take more chances, because you done been here longer. So you should have more wisdom, more knowledge, more understanding, and more discretion. If you don't have more of those things, then no, you should not do no online dating either. If you feel just as naive as a spring chicken, you feel you don't know no more than a 30, 35, 40, 45-year-old, then no, stay offline. If you don't feel full of wisdom and discretion, do not online date. And so that's why I say that is do not online date unless it has been expressly approved by somebody who in the dating trenches, coaching, teaching, and serving on a daily basis. Do not get on that online dating. And if you get on that online dating, have you a set of guidelines, bylaws, some rules to help protect you from being swindled by the titular swindler. Listen to what I'm telling you now. Listen, because I'm a man. I'm a man now. So I could tell you it's not in our nature to take shortcuts, take the elevator, to do these things unless we trying to get ahead. We conniving. Men enjoy the grind. Men enjoy hard work. Men enjoy the chase. The chase is walking up to a woman and putting it on the line, risking being looked at, laughed in your face, turned down, walked away from, ignored. Real men embrace that challenge. The men who get online dating is for another reason. It don't mean they're a bad guy, but it could mean they don't have the confidence. It could mean they got low self-esteem. It could mean they insecure. It could mean that they being greedy. It could mean that they rushing the process. It could mean that they don't feel like walking up to a woman. It could be because they'll say it's because they busy, but it's no such thing to be too busy for no woman. It ain't no such thing. If you too busy to walk up and meet a woman in person, then you too busy to be in a relationship. So stay offline anyways. You too busy. If you can't get out the house and walk up to somebody, then you don't deserve to be in a relationship. I hate to say that. I hate to tell y'all fellas that. Listen now. I know it hurt. And I got homeboys and guys I know that get online. Listen, fellas, get off that line. Get off that line, muster up the courage, get out here in these streets and walk up to you, a woman, and ask her, is she single? And take what come with it. If she laugh at you, if she walk off on you, if she ignore you, if she tell you, yeah, she in a relationship, then okay, so be it. Go on to the next person you bump into and that you like the way they look and you feel like you want to, inquire within and get to know them a little better. Listen to me now. Hey, this Tony Gaskins. Do not be a desperate dater. Do not be a desperate dater. God bless y'all. The replay of the Birth Your Book live. If you missed it, we went in. I shared my tips and tools on how I write my books in 5 days. These best-selling books that I write in 5 days now. I share my tips and tools on this here. You will see the replay. It'll say Birth Your Book live replay. You will see that later today, tonight. For a limited time only now, it'll be at $150. Then it's going to go to $197. Okay? So if you missed it, but you want to write your story, you need to write your story and get it on out, then make sure you go and get the replay. It's Tony Gaskins. God bless you. We'll talk soon.